Right, metalheads, this is DJ REM and the Crush Beyond Dust Show, streaming live on Metal Devastation Radio. I have Brandon from the band Diamond Lane on the line. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. I've been looking forward to this interview. Played one of your tracks just a few minutes ago and was jamming it big time.
Excellent.
So, yeah, we played a little, what did we play? The Enemy. Good track.
Perfect. Yeah, we just did a music video for that and released it last week ahead of the album release. It's just been getting great feedback, great reception. Several thousand views over the course of a couple of days, which is a nice treat to wake up and see.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
Absolutely.
So, where did you guys record that video at?
We did it up in the Mission Hills Mountains. So that was a very interesting video, to say the least. We failed to have the foresight to have stagehands to help us lugging all the gear, but literally it was just the band and our director, and we're pretty much scaling a 45-degree hill, a tiny little rocky path, making several trips. We were going over 20 miles by the end of the day. It was brutal, to say the least, but we got some beautiful shots, and it was worth every second of the grudging, grueling effort.
Very cool. So I'm assuming that's on YouTube, correct?
Correct. Yeah, just type in Diamond Lane. Should be the first thing that pops up, or Diamond Lane, the Enemy, and it'll definitely be the first thing that pops up.
Well, I will definitely check that out, and I will strongly encourage everyone that's tuned in or will hear this interview later when it's on my YouTube channel to check that out.
Perfect.
So why don't you start by, why don't you introduce yourself and also the members of the band that are not with us tonight in everybody's spots?
Perfect. Well, I'm Brandon. I am the mouthpiece, lead vocal. We have two amazing axe slingers, Jarrett Reese, who is the longtime founder of the band, with myself, and Frankie Lindia, who's the other little shredder. Those guys are insane. They just blow my mind every time. We have just a dominatingly rock-solid rhythm section. Ray Zhang is holding down the bass, and the new guy in the band, Dave Van Diggity, just killing it behind the drum kit.
So how long has Diamond Lane been together?
Well, that's an interesting question. I can give you over a decade if we want to get down to the brass tacks. Jarrett and I were from up in the Bay Area, up in San Jose, California, and we became friends in high school. Over mutual kinship, over Metallica, Black Label Society, and heavy metal in general. So we started writing, recording, performing in the early incarnations of Diamond Lane. Did a lot of demoing, put out a bunch of songs, still learning to cut our teeth and learn the ropes and grow, really find ourselves in our music. When we relocated to Los Angeles, that was in 2009, and that was really a pivotal turning point because we expanded the band. We became a full, true five-piece and really kind of set the sights on our focus. So we've been a band technically for well over a decade, but in this incarnation with this approach and this idea in mind, just a couple of years.
Okay, very cool. And you mentioned you just shot the new video recently. What else is going on with you guys right now? You guys have any live shows lined up?
Yeah, absolutely. In a week and a half, which is Saturday, May 24th, we're headlining to the Anaheim House of Blues, which is fantastic. I love the House of Blues. Out of all the ones that I've been to, I think that probably is my favorite. It's just a great layout, great sound. So we got that going on, and we're locking down some summer traveling for the western region and west coast, scoping out later over the summer. A cool thing we got going on right now, we are currently Fox Sports Artist of the Month in their national campaign. So on their sports channels during their games, you're likely to hear several tracks off of Diamond Lane's new album, Terrorizer.
Well, that's badass. How do you get hooked up with something like that?
You know what? It was just kind of an old relationship that we had utilized. They had used some of our songs from Worlds Without Heroes for some one-off spots for UFC or NASCAR a couple of years ago. And I was able to get an advance of our record over to Janine Kerr, the VP at Fox Sports, and they just fell in love with it and wanted to make it a featured thing. And I'm not going to argue with that.
Definitely, right? That's some great exposure, right?
It is, absolutely. To put us in a position to expose our music to people who might not otherwise know we exist, that's a blessing and it's a beautiful thing. And hopefully we can keep that good thing going and turn more and more people on to Diamond Lane. Because at the end of the day, the world could use more good, badass, solid rock music.
I would agree with that as well. Definitely. So how often do you guys get together and practice right now?
Oh, several times a week. It's important. We're constantly students of the game in the quest for excellence, if you will. It's important to work very hard at it because when you put yourself in the live presentation, these are people who bust their ass all day and they're spending their hard-earned money to see a show. So they don't want to see a bunch of half-assed performances. They want to see the real deal, and that's what we strive to deliver 10 times out of 10.
Hey, well, very cool. I hope someday I get to see you guys live. Hope you guys make it to this side of the country at some point.
Oh, I would love nothing more. That's, what we're really trying to do is align ourselves with the right team so we can be in a position to do that. And there's so many wonderful places across the country and the world that we would love and jump at the opportunity to play.
Well, I wish you best of luck. And before I forget, I want to thank the guys from Lords of PR for hooking me up with you. Those guys rock. They've been sending me a lot of killer bands, so big thanks and props to them.
Absolutely, yeah. Benjamin's a great guy. He's really going to bat for us. It's nice to have some people with the same vision in your corner.
Yep. It's funny because this is like, I think the third interview with bands they've sent me, and I always email them back, and I'm like, hey, you know what, just another kick-ass band. He's like, of course, all my bands are kick-ass. So it really shows how much they believe in the bands they're supporting, so it's really cool.
Well, I think it's important with anything that you do. If you have belief in your product, so to speak, then you're going to be more passionate about selling it.
Right, exactly, right? Okay, so here's a question for you personally. What got you into music? What kind of stuff did you listen to growing up that made you that you're like, hey, or even now that you listen to that, hey, I want to do this?
Well, I have 5 older brothers, so growing up at a very, very young age, I was always turned on to a variety of different bands and styles of music. I was always digging through my brother's tapes, records, and CDs. And so that really made an impression on me young on. I would definitely say probably Metallica, the Eagles, and Alice in Chains and Nirvana, because I grew up in Seattle, so right when that whole 90s grunge thing was really burgeoning, that was very much supported by the press and the media, and especially being from Seattle, I felt a connection to those bands. So, outside of that, everything from Kiss to Motley Crue. So it was a nice variety to be able to be exposed to that. So the well was poisoned very, very early on, and it was never relented.
Motley Crue, Shout Out the Devil, was the first album I had on vinyl.
Nice.
And my mom made me take it back because she said it was satanic.
Well, of course. It's all in the marketing. Nikki Sixx got a few things right, and that's definitely one of them.
Yeah, that's right. I know. So, where we go here? So, was there anybody else in your family that had any kind of musical talent, or so were your influences just your brothers and the music they listened to, or did somebody else have something going on musically?
Well, my brothers kind of dabbled in the guitar, and one of my older brothers definitely, showed me the ropes and a few chords and this and that and the other. But, of course, within, a few due time, I was, surpassing the teacher, so to speak. So, as for being, brothers in bands or, parents, nothing like that. It was more just being surrounded in a musical environment, feeling the inclination to want to perform and entertain. I think that was a huge component of it. I always found myself growing up just burying myself in music, foregoing, a lot of the things that I probably should have done because I was to sit by the stereo trying to take apart, this song. How in the world are they doing this? This sounds so cool. And so just, kind of being a lover of the music in general, it consumes you. It becomes an obsession. You want to make your life, have that as the epicenter.
Very good. So, how did you guys come up with the name of the band?
Well, like anything, throwing things against the wall and see what sticks. Garrett and I, we came up with this. It must have been 2001 or 2. And it just seemed to make sense, the idea of being in the fastest lane possible, no stop signs, foot on the gas, here we go. That just seemed very appealing, had a cool ring to it. So Diamond Lane, it always just stuck. So we've had that registered, locked, and loaded for many, many, many moons now. And, we're not going to relinquish control anytime soon.
Well, very good. So, where is a good place for people to go to find out more about Diamond Lane? What websites and social networking do you guys use?
We're on them all, but our main website, diamondlanerocks.com, diamondlanerocks.com. That's going to be the central hub. Or you're going to be able to link to our Facebook, which is /Diamond Lane, Twitter, YouTube, Diamond Lane videos, the whole gambit. It's all going to be linked through there. So if you're on diamondlanerocks.com, you're in the right place to find out what you're looking for.
Okay, very good. And again, I would strongly encourage everyone to go check these guys out. And if you like what you hear, buy their music, because guys need support to keep doing what they're doing.
I appreciate it. That is the truth. It takes an army. That's the fact.
Yeah, huge army these days. So I'm sitting here looking at the cover for the album for Terrorizer, and who designed this artwork? Because this is really cool.
Well, thank you very much. I'll definitely pass that along. A gentleman named Casey Howard. He is the brother of one of our bands that we've toured with. One of the guitar players in that band. Turns out his brother's a phenomenal artist. And upon further research, he did Slash's Apocalyptic Love. He did a couple of albums for Avenged Sevenfold. So, we knew this guy had the juice. And, he liked the music and wanted to get involved. And it seemed like a good situation. It definitely came out great. Definitely stoked on the Terrorizer album cover, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I really appreciate artwork when it comes to albums, because a lot of bands don't put the time and effort into that, and I think as a fan of music, it's very important to have that whole package. And the thing I can't stand is to see just a picture of the band on the cover. I don't want to see that.
Yeah, right. It's kind of lame. There's it's a half-assed effort. I think that music needs a visual representation. I mean, unless it's that damn good, and you can get away with having a Black Album or, The Long Road by the Eagles, very simple and bare bones. But I think there's something to be said about great, well-executed artwork. Yeah,
and I think the other thing, too, is, MP3s and all that stuff taking over the world on us. There's still a lot of people that like to buy albums, and, I think it just means a lot more.
Well, and that's a huge component. I absolutely agree. The majority of the bands that I know, they'll put out, just a sleeve with just the bare bones cover, the back, and it's got the disc inside. But we always opt for, I want the jewel case. I want something I can hold in my hand and flip through the pages. So we're constantly on a quest to continue to one-up ourselves with more engaging and interesting physical product, because I think that's a huge component of it. The fact that somebody can take a souvenir away from the show, kind of as a memento, other than the songs they have in their head or a T-shirt that they're going to wear until it, falls off. I think it's important to have that to, continually reference.
Yep, definitely. So, what recording studio did you guys use for this album?
Our producer, Tom Chandler, this is the third record that we have done with him, and he actually has a great setup in his house, which is fantastic for us because it allows a free-flowing creative environment where we can take our time as opposed to really watching the clock. I mean, we've all been in those situations, and creating under time constraints is just less than ideal, to say the least. It sucks the soul out of the performances because you're constantly worried about the bottom line and the bottom dollar, and I hate creating that link. So to have the flexibility and be in a situation where we can kind of control the clock, definitely advantageous to harvesting the best ideas.
Yeah, well, and it sounds really good, and I've been playing it, like I said, I've been playing it on the radio, and it sounds amazing. So good job to you guys and him.
Yeah, I will pass that along. One thing we really don't want to cut corners on is the audio quality. It's important for us as an independent band to be able to compete with, the big budget records that are coming out, from Stone Sour, Black Label Society, and Alice in Chains.
Yeah, and I think it's amazing that someone can set up their own little studio and, or God, just some of these people with the software they use the sound that they get out of it is amazing.
It really is. It's truly impressive. We're living in the age of technology, and the fact that we can do this from our garage for a tenth of the cost that it's going to cost, any of the aforementioned bands I just said, it really is an impressive, amazing thing.
Yep, definitely. Okay, another question specifically for you. If I grabbed your iPod or MP3 player, however you like to listen to music, what bands would I find you listening to right now?
Oh, that's a great question. You know what? I'm a music lover. I'm constantly swapping things in and out. There's definitely going to be some Aerosmith, Alice in Chains, Ben Sevenfold, ZZ Top, Elvis, probably some Linkin Park, Metallica, Ozzy, Slipknot, Sunny Day Real Estate, NWA, Gambit, all across the board. I probably listen to more records on vinyl these days, to be totally honest with you. I've recently gotten into that with Dave, our drummer. We hit up flea markets and are constantly digging for good finds. So I've really enjoyed the past couple of months getting into that. But definitely going to be a wide collection of music. Definitely some heavy rock and metal, but you can't blow your brains out with that kind of stuff all the time. So, some Sinatra, some Elvis, some classical. Hey, it's all good to me. Good songs are good songs.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what genre it is. It doesn't matter what style it is. If you like it, that's all that matters.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly.
And I love that you said NWA. I love those guys.
Well, and that was a product of my brother, too. Growing up in the 90s, they had to have that record and hide it from mom. Feeling that out and listening to it, it's like, whoa. You can't even really wrap your head around it as a kid, but being able to revisit it as an adult, it's like, man, these guys are going through some things.
Yeah, right? So, what do you guys do to relax when you're not practicing and doing shows and stuff? Anybody have any crazy hobbies they like to do?
I think we all probably have our own different outlets, but like I mentioned, I like going to the flea markets and digging for records. It's kind of therapeutic to rediscover something that maybe was once forgotten and listen to it in its true intended form. That's what's so cool to me about spinning vinyl is that, when the Eagles recorded Hotel California, it was meant to be listened to from front to back. Not, I'm going to fast forward to this and skip to the next song because I'm bored.
Right.
We're living in the age of such short attention spans. I think that's why I have a fond appreciation for that. But, in terms of relaxing, it's tough. I'll be totally honest. To even find time. Life is so consumed with everything that the band demands, requires, then some, and keeping food on the table. We're very much a blue-collar band. We work to provide the best possible products and experiences for anybody who takes time out of their lives to care about that.
Yeah, very good. Very good. It's definitely not easy these days for bands. The days of bands making millions are pretty much far and few between.
Oh, dead and gone, my friend. But hey, you know what? If I can facilitate a way to keep the lights on and food on the table, that's good enough for me. I am a simple man.
Oh, no doubt. And the fact that you get to do what you enjoy, that's what it's all about,
Without a doubt. Life is too short, that's for certain.
Yep. So, what would you say sets Diamond Lane apart from all the other bands out there trying to make a name for themselves? What do you guys bring to a show and to your music?
Well, I would say, first and foremost, our work ethic. I have not met a single band yet on the independent scale who is willing to sacrifice and work as hard as we collectively do and have and will continue to. Um, Aside from that, because sure, everybody works harder, likes the things that they do. I would like to think we bring a fresh approach to the music. We definitely wear our influences on our sleeve, but we're very cognizant on the music that we make and how it's received. And I would like to think that we definitely bring something fresh to the table by not chasing something, not chasing a trend or having a specific goal in mind, but doing what makes us feel good. Because I believe that if we're true to ourselves and our heart of hearts and play the music that we want to play and write the songs that we want to write, not for anybody else, not with any motivation or intention in mind, but doing it because it feels good, that is what sets us apart. Having that realistic perspective to be able to deliver. And when we have a live show, it's all about the fans. Every single person who peeled off those ducats to come through and have a good time, that's exactly what we're going to give them. It's all about engaging the audience and making a personal connection that is that's everlasting, and it goes beyond the music, and creates friendships and family, and it's just this one big giant bond. And if you whittle it all down, music is the catalyst and the epicenter for that, and that's just a beautiful, powerful thing. So I would say our honesty, keeping our integrity, and working hard, that's what translates through our music, and that's why I believe that people have been so receptive to Terrorizer and the efforts that we're putting forth, and we will continue to do such.
Okay, well, very good. And I would strongly encourage anybody, if you're in the area and get to a chance to see Diamond Lane play live, definitely you need to do that and check these guys out, because as far as I'm concerned, they rock.
Well, I appreciate that.
What's the craziest thing, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing, but what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you at a live show you've done?
Oh, man. I mean, where do you begin? It wasn't necessarily recently, but I'll never forget we were playing, must have been somewhere in way northern California, and the drum riser, I mean, just by the looks of it, the thing was, rickety, but lo and behold, 3-4 songs into the set, the damn thing's collapsing, and the whole stage is, really. So just kind of trying to roll with the momentum of that without letting that totally buzzkill the moment.
Right.
Yeah, that's always fun. But, Dimebag Darrell said, it's the highs and lows of rock and roll. You got to roll with it or get rolled. And that's just the way it goes.
Right.
So, I can dig that. We definitely take our music very seriously, but not ourselves. So, we have a good sense of humor about the whole thing.
Okay, very good. Okay, so now is the most important question of the interview, so I hope you're ready.
I'm ready. Hit me.
Which one of the guys in the band, including yourself, spends the most time in front of a mirror before you go live on stage?
Ray. No question. He's our lucky little Chinese dragon. He's clearly the most fashionable one in the band. He's got a style dialed in, and by default makes us all look a little better. So, hey, he can go ahead and take as much time as he needs.
I love it. And I love how quickly, I wasn't even done asking the question, you were already answering it. That's awesome.
If we were only on Family Feud, I would have had this round.
you win. All right. Is there anything else, Brandon, that you want to tell the world, anybody listening, and then anybody that will listen to this once it's up on my YouTube channel that I have not asked? Anything about Diamond Lane you want to make sure people know?
Hey, I just want to say thanks for the support. If you don't know who we are, check it out. Take a chance. You might surprise yourself and find your new favorite band. We're just going to keep on delivering fresh, modern, hard rock and American heavy metal. We're going to keep raising the bar for ourselves, which is de facto raises it for the listener. So get dialed in to DiamondLaneRocks.com. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram, whatever's your MO. We're going to keep churning out quality content, and you keep screaming loud.
Okay, very good. Well, I want to thank you again for taking time to call in tonight. I very much appreciate it. And just so you know, I have Cheating Death, Slow Destruction, and Life to Lose coming up as soon as we go off the air. So they're going to be rocking out to more Diamond Lane.
Very nice. I like it. Those are some of my favorites.
So, oh, I lied. I also have favorite kind of victim in there too. So I actually got 4 coming up.
Nice. It looks like you got the first half of the record dialed in. That's good.
Heck yeah, and then later on I'll probably throw the other half in. So
there we go. It never hurts, right?
they're gonna get a full dose of Diamond Lane tonight for sure.
Full dose of Diamond Lane. I'll take it.
So, okay, man. Well, thanks again. I really appreciate it. Make sure you tell everybody else in the band I said hello.
I absolutely will. I really appreciate you having me on. It's been a pleasure to chat with you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night, and thanks for supporting Diamond Lane. Couldn't do it without you.
You got it. We will continue to play and support all we can. So, take care, man. Have a great night.
Fantastic, brother. You do well.
All right. Bye.
Cheers.
All right, metalheads. That was Brandon from the band Diamond Lane, and I have to say, kick-ass. Very cool dude. And speaking of kick-ass, I got Diamond Lane tracks for you. So let's start it with a little bit of favorite kind of victim. Crank it up.
Ja, nu ska jag ta och skriva det här.